Hey y'all, welcome to week 7. We are almost to midterms. This week we're going to cover drug crimes, and it's going to be a lot like when we covered white collar crimes and we talked about cyber crimes. Drug crimes is a huge, broad topic. We are just going to scrape the surface. So this is an introductory course, so we are going to take just a very introductory look at drug crimes. You could spend an entire semester just talking about drug crimes, about addiction, about the impact it has on communities, on individuals. So again, this is just a very surface overview. So this week you have a Prezi lecture that again just touches on lots of different topics as they relate to drug crimes. And there's a TED Talk that kind of takes a different perspective, and it takes a look at the history of the war on drugs. So when I was a little girl, late 1970s, early 80s, even into the late 80s and early 90s, the war on drugs was a governmental approach at being super tough and super hard on drug offenders, the people who were producing drugs, the people who were distributing, and as a means of trying to curb the problem that we had in the United States. Now, there are pros and cons to that approach. So the TED Talk is going to give you kind of a historical perspective on how we got there, and his opinion of what needs to happen going forward. Remember, a TED Talk is one person's point of view, so I felt like it was important to share that with you. We're going to spend a lot of time focusing specifically on one issue as it relates to drug crimes. In years past, I had students focus a lot on methamphetamine, especially because in Southwest Missouri we have a problem with meth. However, this time we're going to spend a lot of our time and energy focusing on the heroin epidemic and kind of looking at the epicenter of where a lot of those issues have derived, where the problem just kind of exploded and feels like it's most out of control. So we're looking at areas in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and parts of West Virginia. I think a lot of the readings that you have available are focusing on Ohio specifically. You're going to have a few reading selections. Most of them are newspaper or magazine articles. And then there's one video that kind of shows you, I think it's about an hour long. It shows you 7 days in the life of a community affected by heroin. You also have a discussion forum that's specifically focused on heroin and overdose prevention. You're going to read about Narcan, which is a drug that can be used to counteract a heroin overdose. So if someone is in the middle of an overdose, you can give them Narcan and bring them back. That has proven to be a little bit problematic, especially in the one community that I'm going to ask you to focus on. So in your discussion forum, you have an additional news article, and you have a web page to kind of explore before you answer the discussion forum questions. You also, as with any discussion forum, so again, not a flip grid this time, you're going to have to old school type out your responses. I need your response to my initial question by Wednesday at midnight, October 3rd, and then I need you to respond to two additional students by the 5th. So midnight on Friday, you need to have responded to 2 other people's posts. You also have a quiz. Now, this is a big quiz. It's worth 30 points. Again, you have 2 attempts at it. It's over lessons 5, 6, and 7. So if you're going to go back and review, we're going all the way back to white-collar crimes, organized crime, and cyber crimes to cover all of those. So 5, 6, and 7. The quiz is not due until Tuesday, October the 9th at midnight. I know that for some school districts, October 8th is a holiday. We're taking it as a holiday at OTC. Drury doesn't necessarily take off for it, but I'm giving you a little bit of extra time in case your school district does observe that. You also have one more attempt at a journal entry. So if you still need your 3 journal entries for this half of the semester, the clock's ticking. You have this week and next week to finish that up. For those of you that have already done your 3 journal entries for this half of the semester, high fives to you. You have another opportunity to get 10 more bonus points and kind of bump your grade up for midterms. Also, as soon as you review the timeline for week 7 and mark it as complete, remember, every time you finish one of those assignments, mark that box as complete. Don't wait for me to grade it. Mark it as complete as soon as you have a chance to review it and understand what you're doing. When you get through all of this week, your preview for midterms is there for you to take a look at. So you should be able to open that at any point this week once you've gotten through a few of the activities for week 7. The only thing you have to do next week and the first half right before, it's about a week and a half. So you have 10 days to complete your midterms. You'll be able to take a preview of it, look and see what you've got to work through, and then when it opens up again, you have all of next week, October 8th through the 12th, and then the actual midterm project is due on the 16th. We'll talk a little bit more about that next week, but you will have a chance to take a look at it. Please keep in mind your midterm has 2 components. One is a little creative, and the other one is a writing assignment. So hammer through this week, take a look at midterms, and then you guys will be ready to go. I need to share with you that I have everyone's deep dive writing assignments. Your scores are already in there. Many of you already knew what your score on the paper was. Great job, by the way. I'm trying to figure out how to get them back to you. So I used to have the option in Moodle of uploading your graded paper with really specific notes on it so that you would have it as a tool. I don't find that option anymore. So I don't have the ability to go in and upload something to your graded assignment. I know that many of you don't have your Drury email and you don't check your Drury email. So I'm having a tough time figuring out how to return all of this information to you. Let's do it this way. If you'd like to have your paper back and be able to see, I know Moodle does inline grading, but I really prefer to be able to point out things in writing and make comments on your actual physical papers. So if you'd like your paper back to see some of the suggestions and see maybe where you missed points or where I totally agreed with you and had notes written for you in the margin, give me your email address. Just message me whatever email you prefer to use, and I will send it to you that way. All right? So for this week, Prezi lecture, TED Talk, reading assignments, discussion forum, quiz, not due till October 9th, 1 additional journal entry, and then being able to preview midterms and know what's coming your way. If you guys have any questions or you need anything, just give me a call, shoot me a text message, or email me. I hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.